So basically, welcome to Vague Questions. So basically, this is a series that like documents the reactive mind. May told you a little bit about it, May and Dylan. So what you're gonna be doing is we have the CRT TVs in front of you. Silas, could you give Riley the remote?
Yep.
So I'm gonna the way that you're gonna go through. There's gonna be 2 rounds of Rorschach tests. There'll be a live glitch segment, which Silas is gonna do live visuals. Through that section of all of this, you're gonna just be telling us what you see on the screens, and you can make it as detailed or as undetailed, as simple as you would like to describe. And to do that, you're gonna be using the clicker right there, which the middle button is simply a laser pointer.
Oh, okay.
It is just for funsies, not really anything. It came with the remote, and we found that people like to play with the laser pointer.
I do like to play with the laser pointer.
Exactly. The button on the right is going to advance the slideshow.
Okay.
If you want to give us a test quick. Okay, and then go back. Okay, so that works. So like I said, you're just gonna be telling us in this section what you see on the screens. And then me and Silas are gonna be in the room for this, and we're gonna be, discussing your answers with you. When we get to the questions, we're actually going to leave the room.
Oh, okay.
And then, the questions, again, sort of like, as I said with the Rorschach test, you can go as detailed or as simple as you want. There's 40 questions, so it's like, if this question brings out this memory and is super interesting to you and you want to spend 5 minutes discussing it, and this next question is bullshit, and you're like, I really, like, it doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
You don't have to discuss it, like, you can go to the next one.
Are the questions going to be on the screen, or you just going to be shouting them from, like, the door?
Oh, no, we won't be shouted. Well, I mean, me and Silas will just shout at each other. Over, like, Wavy needs some video sounds, your laptop's in there, and then Wavy's like, on speakerphone. But no, with the questions we don't see.
It's Simon and Garfunkel out here. We seem really chill, and then we're just like at each other's throats.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, it's pretty simple. The TVs kind of become the interviewer once we leave the room. So it'll just be like, if you want to say the question, like when it comes up to yourself, sometimes people do that. Other times they'll just like click and go.
Yeah. Just say your answers out loud.
Cool. The way that May and Dylan explained this to me doesn't do justice. Yeah, I had the way wrong impression, but I'm like way more comfortable with this than the way they explained it to me.
It's funny because they had another one of their friends come by yesterday to do it, Ethan, I believe, and he was like, this is not what they said.
Yeah. Completely,
So-
they explained it like weirdly. I told Dylan that I was going to be doing this, and he was like, oh yeah, don't be nervous about this, this, and this, and I was like, dude, I wasn't even thinking about that until you brought it up.
Dylan was like, forget anxiety, and then
Yeah.
like, I wasn't anxious.
I wasn't anxious until now, thanks.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can start describing what you see in front of you right now.
Okay, it looks like 2 bugs facing each other, and then like these are the antennas, and these are the wings, and these are the eyes, and like the pincers. So it just looks like 2 bugs facing each other.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to click the next one?
Yeah.
I got like a flash of what I thought it was in my head, and then for some reason completely forgot it. But this almost looks like eyes, and then this is some sort of mouth, like a little alien creature. But then these might be the ears. But then if I blur my eyes, these are the wings, and this is like a body.
So it's kind of going back and forth.
Yeah, looks kind of like cyber sigilism tattoos.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I immediately got a face when it flashed on the screen. Like, have you ever seen like the like those creepypasta faces that are like just like really heavily photoshopped faces? That's immediately what I got. Like, these are the eyes, and then this would be the nostrils.
It's Squidward and creepypasta.
Yeah.
I forgot the famous Squidward creepypasta.
Squidward suicide.
Squidward suicide.
Yeah.
That's true.
If you're ever thinking creepypasta, it's blunt. They're not very subtle. It's always like, Ben drowned. And you're like, well, I know what happened to him.
Yeah, it's like death, suicide. There's no metaphors in there. Kind of like one of those satellite things that they shoot into space, this being the satellite. But I think that's just because it's very rectangular. And these look like two little doll faces with large noses. That looks like nothing down here, but yeah, satellite and doll faces. I got another face, these being the eyes, this being the mouth, but then there's like something dripping from the eyes, kind of like that doll from Five Nights at Freddy's, kind of looks like that. This looks like two people sitting down, and I can't explain why, but I just got two people sitting kind of like with their backs like this, like twisted. So not facing each other, but facing one direction, but their backs are just twisted like this a bit. In like a field. This is for sure a field,
I was
okay.
about to say,
Yeah.
speaking of fields.
Yeah, speaking of fields, this is for sure a field. This is trees in the background. This is like grass, maybe something floral. Might be the sunset, but I'm not really getting anything specific from this. But it's definitely field, maybe like a pond right here. There's something blocking it. I don't see this as like a separated pond. I see something like in front of it blocking the view. I got like cows and cattle. Like when you're looking at a field and you see that there's cows in the field, or so cows and cattle's from that in a field.
When you're driving by and you're like, oh, there's 7 cows in the
Yeah,
field.
you're a dairy, like a dairy farm. That's what I'm getting from this, a dairy farm. A crowd of people at like a theater. This kind of looks like a stage. So, like a, what is it called when you go to see a concert at a stadium? Like a stadium. Like this is the crowd and this is the stage. Two little ballerina feet right here. They're like doll feet.
Tiptoeing.
Yeah. Not really tiptoeing, kind of maybe wearing heels, so more like doll feet.
Okay.
And then this is the shadow of whoever's standing, but we can't see them. But here's the shadow. And then this is just a bunch of stuff on the floor. People walking is what I got into my mind immediately. Like when there's a cinematic scene in Hollywood of people's feet walking, that's what this is. That's what it looks like to me. These would be like the in-between of the feet, and the white would be the feet, but it doesn't look like feet. It just flashed into my mind of that's what I got. Sorry if these are supposed to be more detailed.
No.
No, like you're
doing
honestly
perfect.
perfect. Like,
Okay.
it's like association, whatever you're seeing immediately.
Sick.
Yeah, you're doing great.
This I got a spotlight. Kind of like it kind of looks like when an alien is like sucking something up in a movie, but that's less of what I thought immediately. What I thought immediately was spotlight on a stage, someone's in the middle of the spotlight, and then there's kind of just noise here. Immediately eyes right here, 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 and here. The rest of this is kind of just noise. I'm getting still like buggy things in the corner here and here. The outline of a dress, like a silhouette of a lady wearing a dress. Like this is the waist, this is the top. It's like a collared dress with the buttons going down. This looks like when you enter a church, like the steps going up to the church, and then this is like the nice church entrance. Two people standing. This is one person, this is one person. They're outstretched holding something, and this also looks like a church to me. Like when it looks like right over here is the pews, and this is the middle.
Mhm.
So people are walking down to the front of the church, and this looks like the stained glass windows.
Yeah, so it's like they've entered the church now.
Yeah.
In the last one.
I'm still getting church. This still looks like pew. This is the middle. That's like the church over here, and then these are the stained glass windows. Like when they decorate churches for Christmas.
Mhm.
But then the more I look at it, I see like a little face over here, but I still got church immediately. Multiple faces. Like these black parts would be the hair. It's like a symmetrical face all the way around. This would be the eye. And then it kind of gets mushed after that. Like it's not exactly a face, but this would be the hair, this would be the eye. And it's kind of just doubled all the way around.
Okay, that was the last one of this round of Rorschach tests. We're just gonna go into the next round. You're gonna see our review of our Google Doc.
The effect is broken!
The effect's broken. So this is just another round of Rorschach tests. We're gonna be doing the exact same thing. It's just these are made in a different manner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of looks like a freaky elephant creature. This is, oh shit, that's not the laser. This is like one ear of the elephant, one ear of the elephant. These are the feet.
Mhm.
And then, but then there's like a lady in the middle, like a centaur, but it's an elephant. And then these are like the boobs of the lady. And then this is the neck. She has no head. These are like arms. I got like sand dunes from this. These are the sand. This is the sand area. Maybe like a little oasis in the tiny little white spots here.
Mhm.
And it's like pooling into something like quicksand. Trees. These are the trees. Walking through a field, there's a middle break in the trees, and then that's where the break is.
Mhm.
But the trees are overcasting the middle of the break in the trees. Like ribs, like an organ system. Those are the ribs, and then yeah, that was pretty much it. I don't know what else. Like why I thought it was an organ system, but I immediately got ribs from here. But now I'm seeing a moth here.
Yeah. You said organ system, and then it's like, oh, they're all gone.
Yeah, it's like these are the ribs, but there's nothing inside.
Yeah.
And then this might be like the muscle, the meat surrounding the ribs.
Mhm.
So kind of like butterflies in the stomach. There's a butterfly. Here's the stomach. There's nothing in there. And then
Mhm.
this is the meat. Butterflies in the stomach. Chandelier again over a church. Maybe I just got church on the mind. This would be the chandelier, and then pew, and then like people looking at the chandelier, kind of like in fear, like it's about to fall on them, like that.
Have you been to church a lot? You know?
I grew up in a Catholic school. I was never really much of a religious person until then, and then I got really fearful of the church just because everything that they tell you in Catholic school is basically like, you're supposed to fear this, this, and this. If you do this, this, and this is the sin. I mean, just being born is the greatest sin of all to them, and not being baptized is like, whoa, I'm going to hell just for creation.
Yeah.
Which is a little nutso. So you're probably gonna get a lot of religion out of these if this is supposed to dig into my mind a bit. Do you know what a lion dog is?
Oh, Iron Dog?
Like those Chinese lion dogs?
Not exactly.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with like Chinese dragon then to make it more understandable. This looks like the eyes, like the Chinese dragon that they have on the sticks,
Mhm.
and they're swooshing them around. This looks like the eyes, and then it goes ruffles into the nostrils, and then these would be the ears, and then the rest of it would be fur. So it looks like one of those big Chinese dragons. This looks like a man on a horse, like a knight on a horse. This is the horse legs. You can't really see the rest of
Yeah.
the horse, but then this is the knight on the horse. He's got like a like a cape going over. This is a reflection, so he's either standing over like water or ice, but it looks cold in this picture, so I'm gonna go with ice. And then these would be trees, and then this looks like snowy, like a snowy forest above him. One of those mirror mazes, that's what it looks like when you're walking through a mirror maze. Like this would be the mirror, this would be the mirror, maybe this is the end of the maze, or you're facing a mirror like dead on and this is what you're seeing, but it looks like going through a mirror maze. Like a barn owl, like an upside down barn owl. This is its face, and then it's sitting on something.
Yeah.
Like the top of a tree. This is just nothing, I don't know what that is. But yeah, that's definitely a barn owl. Yeah, I didn't get nothing from this one.
Yeah.
Maybe like the inside of a fruit. That's about it.
Yeah,
Like
cross-
meaty. It
cross
looks
section.
yeah, it looks meaty right here. This is someone standing, and then that's their crotch.
Mhm.
And then that's what I got from that. It looks like the Spy Guys, like Spy versus Spy,
Mhm.
because of the pointy, but that's its eyes. Usually they only have like one, but it's two this time. That looks like a knight face. That maybe that knight is back. That looks like a face wearing a mask in the middle here. And then wind, like something's blowing up. This is the Spy Guy's hands. That's noise. That is just someone floating around. These are the arms, head, or neck, because head's not there. Person's legs. Around is like, it kind of looks like a person just like full body hugging a tree. Like this is the bark of the tree, and they're just like really going in on that tree.
Literal tree huggers.
Yeah.
So I didn't ask beforehand, but you don't have any issues with like flashing lights, right?
Nope.
Okay. Silas is gonna do some live Twitch work. So this is gonna be essentially the same thing as before, but this is like a rapid fire kind of thing. So just say what you see as it develops.
Okay. Lion. Like the middle is a lion's face, lion mane. Eyeball. Bug. Bug right in the middle, like a moth. Bug type thing. When people get surgery on their chest, those look like surgery scars a bit. Forest, church, forest again. Tiger stripes. Still tiger stripes. Like specifically when they snarl and their stripes get all like messed up on their face and cool. Church again, that's the entryway. Now it's a stage. Now it's a stage with curtains. Now it's a stadium. Book. Still book. Going back to stadium. Legs. But like meaty legs. Person standing with a big cape. Person standing with a big cape in a classical looking theater. One of those big like shell theaters that they have orchestras in. That's what I'm specifically getting.
I get the Klein hand.
Yeah, peacock, flowery kind of stuff. Queen's Anne lace specifically. Now it looks like mitosis. Like splitting of the cells. Now it looks like an old-timey telephone. Now it looks like a caterpillar. Still looks like the pattern of a caterpillar a bit. Bats for some reason, but I can't explain that one. I just got bat flashed into my mind. Bunny. Person with a really big collar, like comically large collar and cape with a top hat on. hilly forest overlooking like a landscape, the stars, but then I got house. Looks like when an alien is abducting someone. Dog nose. Like comically, like cartoony dog nose. Now it's going back to Fluffy Caterpillar a bit.
We can call it there. Alright, so, so I was just gonna do a quick little switcheroo, and then we're gonna be on to the questions, the vague questions, the ones that it's named after. At that point, me and Silas are just gonna go into the hallway, into the dining commons, whatever. Whenever you're done, just come in and get us. The door locks if it closes.
Actually, it's unlocked now.
It's unlocked now. We are saved.
I'm telling you, I got here early, took care
You
of
got here
everything.
early. You were like, alright, don't lock us out anymore. And they were like, sick.
I think they were like, okay, stop asking us.
Yeah.
Thing.
So, disregard what I said.
Okay. Is there a time constraint I have to work with?
No. Our next person I scheduled for 11, but it shouldn't take you that long anyway. I mean, it could.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Maybe
absolutely
I'll just
could.
get really
If
into
you-
these questions.
If you really want to go into it, you absolutely can. I mean, I had Patrick Foran yesterday, a design professor, one of my faves in the world. I think his interview was about 2 hours total. He actually.
Yeah, I looked at the other tape you recorded, and I do think it's probably about 2 hours.
Yeah, you, I remember, like, you were like, let's just pop the other tape back in, and I'm like, I think Pat's gonna go a while, we should probably pop a new tape.
Yeah, and you were right.
Yeah, and then I was, on my way here, and I was looking at the voice memos, and I was like, yeah, the second voice memo is an hour, and the first voice memo was an hour, so.
Damn, you got a lot of phone storage.
Well, the audio files are.
Yeah.
Yeah, truth. Well, I mean, nowadays audio files are small.
I am a big time talker, so we'll see.
You gonna be yapping?
Yeah, I could talk and talk and talk.
Hopefully, that's what we need.
Yeah, truth.
Okay. Oh, you got this thing here now.
Yeah, like that's what's doing the picture-in-picture for the
Okay.
VHS now,
Yeah.
which will hopefully save me a lot of time of converting VHS tapes.
Yeah. Okay. Like I said before, spend as much or as little time on each question. We'll see you on the other side.
See ya. Some of this autofill file is just gonna be me hacking, 'cause I'm sick. What world do you live in? I feel like I live a very cocooned life at the moment. It's full of, like, I don't really know what's gonna happen, but I'm definitely cocooned in a way. I have my house, which is, yeah, a lot like a cocoon to me, because it's a very safe space most of the time. I'm very comfortable in the way that I do live, which is a privilege from how most people live, which is very, they've hatched the cocoon, they've gone. But I'm still kind of in that cocoon. I'm looking to bust my way out, but I still want to be comfortable. Who cares? I like to think my friends care. My mom cares, but she cares in her own little, like, bad way. She's not very good at trying to care, but she is trying. My grandmother definitely cares. She loves me a lot. The thought of something happening to me makes her cry, which I feel bad about. She wants to keep me in that cocoon that I've created for myself. My friend Helen cares. He cares a whole lot. I was hiding that I was not doing good from him for like a month, and then when I told him, he was very upset because he was like, oh, you should have told me that you weren't doing well, and only someone who cares, I think, would say something like that. When did it happen? Freshman year of high school. No, mostly sophomore year of high school. Turning 17-ish is where it really took off. That's the time range, at least. I was about to go into where, but this is a when. So yeah, sophomore year, around 16, 17 years old. What do you like about them? Open-mindedness. I like to surround myself with people who are open-minded. I don't like to be around people who I feel like I'm being judged for who I am, because I am unfortunately apologetically myself, but I'm hoping to be unapologetically myself. And to do that, I need to surround myself with people who I can be myself around. I'm not going to force myself to be around people who are judgmental, because I just don't like that. Did you get there in time? I actually got there quite early. On time is late, I believe. I always get to everything very early, and then I either sit in my car and wait for the time to get a little more appropriate, or I'll just go in. But I got there specifically. I got there early, so I did get there on time. Why did you say yes? I didn't want to say no because I felt bad at the time. Even though it was supposed to be kind of my day, my thing, it was supposed to be a time where I could say no, but I said yes to make it easier on myself because I didn't want to deal with the repercussions of saying no. I knew he was going to get upset and it was going to cause a fight, so I just said yes because it was going to be a lot easier to say yes than it was to say no. Were you there for them? Yes. I'd like to think so. I think that I am. I'd like to think that I'm consistently there for people whenever they need me. Maybe sometimes when they don't need me, I'm always like, you can always come to me whenever you need. So sometimes I'm kind of overly there. But yeah, I was there for them in a lot of hard times. Why did you do it? She kind of made me. Not made me. No one was putting the knife in my hand. No one was telling me to do it. Well, she was, but in few words. But I did it because she was doing it. She told me that this was something that was going to make life feel better for me. And I saw how much she was doing it, so I thought, there must be something to this. You're so mature in life, and I'm so young, so there must be something to doing this. And then I kept doing it because it was kind of like an addiction. Are you okay? Right now, I'm okay. Right now, I'm doing pretty spectacular. I'm a bit worried about my life in terms of I just dropped out of college, so I don't really know what I'm doing. I know I'm trying to get a stable job, hopefully a mailman job. I want to be a mailman. I like their uniforms. Right now, I'm okay. Asked me this a year ago, I wasn't doing good. But right now, I am probably not the best that I could be, but I'm pretty good. What did you offer? My body. Pretty much just my whole being, all of my skin, all of my brain, but that's not really what she was going for. So mostly my body, just everything up to everything. Yeah, my whole body. Who are they? They being a she. She was a sick woman. She was named Eve, or she was 37 years old, a heroin addict, a drug addict, really, sex addict, just a very sick woman who I don't really think she ever figured out what she was doing with her life. So she decided to ruin other people's lives. It's like when parents live vicariously through you, so they want you to do as best as you can because they want to live through you, but she just wanted to live vicariously through you, doing the worst that you can. She wants you doing the worst that you possibly can, so she can look at her life and be like, yeah, I made the right decisions. But all three of us were 18, and we still had a lot of life ahead of us, so she was ruining very prepubescent lives. Not prepubescent, but just very young lives. I'd like to think she didn't ruin mine, but she definitely left a lasting impact. She grew up in a bad household with a lot of brothers and sisters, so she didn't have the best upbringing. Maybe she was trying to recreate her upbringing through us and what happened to her. It wouldn't surprise me. But now she's dying, and she has cancer in her neck. She is, because she was a heavy smoker. I'm pretty sure that they said it was lung cancer. So now she's dying. Are you sorry for what you did? No. Nothing came to mind specifically when this question popped up. It was kind of, I blanked, but the immediate answer I got in my head was no. So the answer must be no to this question. Is this it? Yeah, yes and no. This isn't all there is to be offered. This isn't it for me, and this isn't it for anyone else. You could always make more of a situation, but it's up to you whether that's going to make the situation worse or better. So you can say this is it, and you can just lie down and take it. Or you could say this isn't it, and you can do something else. You could be something else. You could be whatever you want, because you kind of have free reign over your own mind. Maybe you can't change what's already really set in stone in your mind, but you can definitely act and pretend. You can pretend so hard to be something that you become something else without even realizing, so then that is your mind. So then that is you set in stone in your mind. Like, yeah, there's developmental shit, like growing up, that you become this thing, this whatever, but that's a lot of nature versus nurture. But you could adapt to the nature for sure if you change what nature is in your mind. Like, I view my room as a cocoon, but if you threw some things around, it would probably make me freak out, and I'd be like, this isn't a cocoon anymore, this is hell, because I like my room very neat and tidy. What do you see? I see myself in the TV, my reflection. I see myself talking with my body. I'm a very heavy hand and body talker, so I can kind of see myself twitching while I talk, and then I'm looking at the camera and I'm like, oh no, someone's gonna watch this tape and they're gonna be like, whoa, this person's freaking out. And then the little lettering on the screen, but I am focused on my own self in the TV reflection. What do you like about it? It's not the it that I like, it's kind of, no, it is the it that I like. Okay, ignore that I said that. I like the experience and the sensation of it. I like, not the feeling you get bodily, but the feeling you get mentally. I love learning about it. It is one of my favorite topics, and it's a weird topic, but every time I bring it up, people are like, I'm so glad you're so open-minded about this. And I don't think it's something that should be so wild to be open-minded about. I don't think it's something that should be a taboo topic. I I like it. I think it's cool. I do it not because I do it less so for the reason that people usually do, and more to just learn about it and to learn what the other person does in that moment. I want to know how everyone does it and does it differently because everyone's got a different thing going on. Some people say that it's, I dropped the remote. Some people say that it's different based on, well, you know what, ignore that last part. It is different for everyone, and I think that's very interesting because it's something that's unique to each person, at least every person that I have with. But yeah, that's what I like about it. Did you do a good job? I don't think any of us really did a great job with the situation. It was as best as we possibly could, in the sense that none of us had been through anything like that before. It was, if anyone was put in that situation, I think they probably would have done just the same, if not worse. So I like to praise myself for doing the best that I could, and making the best out of a bad situation. I think I did a good job, but maybe not the greatest job. There were some things that I probably shouldn't have done, but there were a lot of things I said no to, which makes me just morally good. What did you do? I lied a lot. I lied a lot. I lied a shit ton just to really protect my standing, and was ashamed, like really ashamed of everything. So I got really good at lying about it. So I lied a shit ton. Are you different? Way different. I am way different. Beforehand, I was cough break. I was in on myself. I mean, I still am to a degree. Everyone, I think, maybe is. But I never talked. I never walked up to people. I never felt the need to have friends, have people around me. I could really be alone for like so much time. I was okay being alone, and now I'm not really okay with being alone anymore. I like there to be people around me all the time. I love working so much because I go to work and I see all these people and I learn about all these people. And even if they're not good people, I'm still around people and I'm learning about them. I'm a lot more open with myself to other people. I'm not trying to be someone that I'm not just to please other people, which goes back to just not wanting to be around judgmental people. What's the point? There is no point. There really is none, and I think that's more comforting than there being one. There's no point, therefore I can do whatever I please. And it's up to you, kind of, for that to be something good, but who's to say what is fundamentally good, other than you and yourself. I could think something is great, and the next person can come in and say that it's a terrible thing, and neither of us would be really wrong, because there is no wrong. So there really is no point, and that is the point. The point is there is no point. You make the point. You are the period at the end of the sentence. Why do you think the way that you do? You know, sometimes the lettering being all can't read it. That's not a judgment, that's just me not being able to see the screen. Why do you think the way you do? My upbringing, I think. Some of my upbringing wasn't very traditional, and a lot of it happened in the way that, I don't know, I feel like the way I was raised, it makes serial killers. Like, I feel like if people looked at, like, Jeffrey Dahmer and switched our family lives, people would be like, oh yeah, I get why he ate people. That's not, like, the best thing to say, but I don't know, I feel like that would kind of be it. So I think I definitely think the way I do to protect myself from just the shit that I've gone through. I haven't been through the worst shit. I'm not saying my life is worse than everyone else's. There's definitely people who have it way worse than me. But I think the way I do to protect myself, for sure. There is a brick wall in my mind preventing me from thinking about things that I should probably be thinking about. But I don't, because I can't, someone put the bricks together too hard, and I can't really knock the wall down. So I think the way I do definitely to just protect me and myself. Who are you? I am everything at once at all times, but also one singular concept. I don't really like to label myself at all, because I feel like the moment I put a label down, I'm just not fitting into it anymore. I could fit that label so well before, but the moment it's pasted onto me, I don't fit with that thing anymore. I'm just not. So I don't like to label myself because I'm okay with just being nothing. Nothing is the only label that hasn't changed on me as soon as I put that shirt on. So I am Riley, and that's about it. I can't really dig into anything else that I am, because I can't put a label to anything that I am, and when you can't put a label to anything that you are, you kind of become this concept in your mind, but you can't explain that concept to other people, because it's difficult to explain something without labeling something. What would you like? My friend asked me what I'd like for Christmas the other day, and I really gave the answer of I have absolutely no clue. I don't know what I would like. What I would like that I can't get for Christmas, I would like romance specifically. But I'm very, very scared of going into that again, because I just don't want to get fucked up again, because I have poor judgment skills when it comes to that. But I think it's nice. I'm a bit of a hopeless romantic, so I really like romance and like fun flirtiness and stuff. But past that, I would really like to talk with my friends more. I would like my friends to talk with me more, to hang out with me more. I feel like I ask my friends a lot to hang out, but I don't really get asked to hang out, so then I get a bit worried that maybe they just don't want to hang out with me. But I'm trying not to think like that anymore. But I would like them to ask me to hang out more. Helen does a good job of that. Helen is very good at just asking to hang out. I feel like a lot of my other friends, though, I kind of just have to ask my way. It's like an ask to pay your way, but to pay my way, it's to ask. But then I'm like, I'm never gonna ask, because if they don't ask, then clearly the friendship's not worth anything. But that's not true, because if I'm not asking, and they're not asking, clearly the blame falls on both of us. Are you pissed? I'm actually completely the opposite of pissed. I wish I could be mad. I wish I could be so incredibly mad, like one of those people who goes into a rage room and they break the table, but they're not even supposed to break the table, so the worker comes in and yells at you, and they're like, why'd you break the table? And you're like, oh, it's a rage room, everything's supposed to be broken. But you've broken the table, you've broken the hardest thing to break in the rage room that the workers don't even think you can break. You've broken it. That's how mad I want to be, and I can't be because of that brick wall. Someone put It's someone put up a brick wall with waterproof spackle all over it. So I can't be mad. But then I get kind of frustrated that I can't be mad, so then I start getting mad at not being mad, so then I do kind of get mad, but I'm not the kind of mad that I would be to break a table in a rage room. So I am pissed that I can't be pissed. But it's not even being pissed, it's kind of just being frustrated a bit. And then I'm like, oh well, and I don't think about it. But if you put me in a room, like a room with nothing to do in it, and you said, think about it, I'd probably get mad. But I don't want to be in that room alone, because I like distractions. Terrified. Terrified of a lot of things. But about the thing that popped into my mind immediately, very scared. I'm terrified of breaking down and becoming the person that I was when I was 17, 18, 19. Because I don't want to be that person anymore. But if it all comes out, I feel like I'm going to be that person. Because that person was very angry and just very emotional, but in a bad way. There's being emotional, and then there's just being so, like, wearing myself down. It feels like I was like a pressure washer, but I was pressure washing myself. And after a while, there's just nothing left. So I'm terrified of feeling that way again. So I think that's maybe why the wall is up. What? I immediately got someone like squaring me up. Like, what? What on 1, 2, 3, 4? Hang on, let me recount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 TVs. What? What isn't much of a question, and I can't really get anything out of it. I can go in depth, and I can talk about the things that I've gone through, but what still isn't really a clear, solid question, so I wouldn't even be confident in the thing that I was answering if I answered this question, so I'm skipping it. Was it the right thing to do? No. It wasn't, but it was the right thing for me at that moment, or so I thought. It wasn't the right thing to do, but it was what I thought was the right thing to do, which made it the right thing to do. 'Cause why are you gonna blame me for thinking that, or why are you gonna blame me for doing the wrong thing when I really truly thought it was the right thing? Everyone was telling me it was wrong, but I so deeply thought it was right. So was it really wrong? I don't know. Are you there? Sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm very eyes above eyes, body above body, just kind of above myself or next to myself, never underneath myself. Right now I'm here. If I think about my there-ness too hard, I won't be. I'll be above myself again. Never looking directly at myself, but when I'm in that state of above myself, I can look in the mirror and kind of see the fact that I'm not there, because my face looks different than my face would look if I was looking in the mirror the day before. So yeah, I am there now, but sometimes I'm not. Why not? Why not? Because it's fear that's stopping me, but not even solid fear. It's just not wanting to. I don't want to because it'll be a burden not only on myself, but my friends. So I don't. Because I don't want to burden other people, and I'm selfish, so I don't really feel like going through that. I'm okay where I am. So because of that, I don't want to make my life any harder. I have a pretty easy life right now. And to make it just the slightest bit difficult is too much to ask of me, so I will simply not. When will it come true? When she dies. It's a horrible thing to say, but when she dies, it'll come true. When I'm standing, maybe not at her funeral, because I don't really know who would invite me. Also, I don't know who would throw a funeral for her, because she has no one, even her kids. I don't even know that they know she exists. When she dies, it'll come true. When I'm standing on her freshly dug grave, looking at her tombstone, that's when it'll come true. But until then, it remains up in the air. What's different? I look at my face now, and it's not as spread out as it was before. All the pieces are in place now, and it feels a lot better than it did. I felt like a lot of things were rearranged on my body before, and nothing was in the right spot. And because of that, every time I looked at myself in the mirror, it was a sense of disgust, but mostly just, I didn't know what I was looking at, because I didn't know who I was seeing, because I was so used to this vision of myself, where all the pieces were in the right places. And now I'm looking at myself and I'm like, all the pieces are just a little bit different. Everything was moved into a different spot, but only by a little bit. So now everything's been put in the right place again. My nose is, it looks like it did before. What's else? My eyes don't have as much space next to them as they used to, and my cheeks are the right size. And my belly button doesn't look so squished anymore, which was a weird thing, because I have one of those like T belly buttons, like any belly buttons, where if you would look at it from like a downwards angle, it kind of makes a T shape. But before, it was just like a crescent moon shape. It was so squished, and I didn't realize how much I liked the shape of my own belly button until it wasn't there anymore. But now it's there, and now nothing's different. But that makes it different because of what I was dealing with before, with all the pieces being in different areas. But I put the puzzle back together. Why did you say no? Because of how terrible it was, I think so. I think so, yeah. Because of how fundamentally morally wrong it was. I don't say no a lot. I'm very much of a people pleaser, and it's kind of my downfall. So to say no, it takes me a lot, because you asked me a question. 9 times out of 10, like if you're asking me to do something, or like let's go somewhere, let's do something, 9 times out of 10 that answer is going to be yes. So to get me to say no, I either must really not want to do it, or it's just something fucked up. And in this case, it was just something fucked up. And I didn't want to do it. I said yes to a lot of things that were not good for me. But I really didn't want to do this thing, because it was just wrong. She wanted to. She really wanted me to. I even tried, like a little bit. I stepped my toe in 1 inch, and I went, no, this is just bad, and I don't like it, because it's wrong. And it was wrong, and I said no. Do you see it working out? I don't know. I don't know yet. I'm not really sure where this is going. I hope it does. But I don't really know how I'm going to be feeling a month from now. I feel like we just have to hang out more. See where it goes. But I don't know. Either way, I'm in a good enough spot to where if it goes a little haywire, I will be mentally okay. I will be fine. which is a good place to be when you're starting to try and figure out if it's working out. Oh, that's the laser pointer. Who? My very first boyfriend in high school, freshman year, his name was Jason. He was a twin. His sister's name is Emily, and I'm going to see a concert with him on December 1st. We're going to see Pierce the Veil. I'm going with his sister. I didn't really want him to go, but his sister's bringing him along, and there's not really much I can actually do about it. He used to know absolutely everything about me, but now he kind of looks at me like I'm dying, which I don't like. Every time I see him, which isn't really often, it's just when I'm hanging out with Emily, his sister, he has this look in his eyes like he's so sad for me, like he feels some sort of guilt, like extreme guilt. Yeah, that's what I get in his eyes. It's just that he looks so guilty. And maybe there's something to be guilty about. There definitely is. But it's been years at this point, and I don't want to look at him and see guilt on his face anymore. I don't really like him as a person, but it's not to say that I hate him, and it's also not to say that I like him. He just is. But I can't stand his face looking so guilty at me, because it's something that I would just like to forget and move on from. And I think it's something he would like to move on from, but he just can't for some reason. He's waiting for me to it's like he's waiting for me to scream at him or just snap suddenly and start yelling at him and screaming at him. But I don't have it in me, because I really just don't care anymore. But he's gonna keep looking at me until I do. I'm not going to, but he's still gonna keep looking at me like that. It doesn't bother me as much as it used to, because I used to see him a lot more often, because I used to hang out with Emily a lot more often. But now it's something that sucks a bit, because I don't want him to look at me like that. I'd rather have him looking at me indifferently, or not at all. Are you here? Didn't I get this question before? Something about being there. Are you there? Are you there? Oh, but there's a difference between being there and here. I'm here right now in this chair, feeling the denim on my jeans and playing with a laser pointer on this remote. Hearing the ringing from the TVs along with my already ringing ears. But I am here. If I think about it too hard, I won't be. If I look out this window too much, I probably won't be either. It doesn't take a lot for me to not be here, but right now I'm trying to be, definitely, drop the remote, attempting to be. So yes, I am here, but if I think about it too hard, I won't be. How long until then? What's the date? 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 15 days. It'll be 15 days until then. Not excited. Not excited. 15 days until then. Just, not a great day. Why did you stop? I don't really know what clicked in my head that it was a bad thing, but it did. I think it was the fight I had with her over $40. It was $40 in gas money. And it just dawned on me that this is so stupid that we're fighting about this. And then I kept thinking about it, and I was like, we have fought about the same thing over and over again, but it hasn't been about the $40. It's been about other stupid shit. So why do I want to talk to you? Why do I want to talk to you if we're fighting over something so stupid as $40? After all I've done for you, after all you've done for me. So I stopped. I just, from that day, I straight up just stopped. Because if it's as important as $40, it's probably not that important. That's 2 hours of work, 2 hours of my time, but it's not that important, so I stopped, because it just wasn't that big of a deal. But then I also stopped because I realized it was something bad. It was something bigger than me. After a while, took me a while. When October 31st, 2020, I'd like to say 22, 21, I think it was 21, at very early in the morning, like 1 a.m. 1 a.m. Yeah, I think it's about 1 a.m. when I was 18, except it was, I just turned 19. Was it wise? Hell no. It was not. It was a lot of peer pressure, kind of. That thought is not strong. I'm gonna re-answer this question, go back that up, because that wasn't really in my head, it wasn't sticking. I found something that sticks. It was the first thing I thought about. Was it wise? No, but it wasn't unwise. I mean, it wasn't like I was telling a lie. I was telling the full truth. Well, to a degree. But I felt like it was something funny, so I told it, and I said it, and afterwards I was kind of like, maybe I shouldn't have admitted this, but I did anyways. But then I just got anxious about admitting it, and people, like, thinking about it too hard, and then I was like, oh. So was it wise? No, but it wasn't entirely unwise. It wasn't like a life-changing decision. It was just information being put out into the world. Oh, what? Am I done? Or is that just a blank screen? Was it wise? What did you get from it? Where? I think it started over. Shit, I can't remember the first question. Blank screen. Okay, I'm just gonna go get them then, because I think it started over. How long did that take me? Like 30 minutes? one after the blank screen?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, there's two more. Now.
Okay,
Or
sick. If
maybe-
you wanna like
yeah.
stand outside the door real quick.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
do
we'll,
these.
yeah, we'll
Make me out. Make me look like a fool. How dare you? What did you get from it? Company. I got company. If anything else, I got company. Definitely a learning experience. But yeah, I got company. That's all I really, that's my highest goal in life, is to have company. So even though it was like a really shitty situation, I still was around people. I still got affection, like human touch. Affection was a big one. So I got company. Where? On this shitty carpet, this shitty tan carpet. I think it used to be white, but it was tan from how dirty it was. After a carpet gets walked on a lot, it was very scratchy. It was definitely an acrylic carpet. Next to the wall, facing the wall, in this apartment above a Just Pizza in Buffalo. Really shitty apartment. We had this blue leather chair, pleather chair. It was falling apart. All the pieces were just like everywhere in the apartment because people kept stepping on them with their bare feet, and then the pleather would stick to the bottom of their feet, and then they'd walk and it would fall off in another part of the house. So that shit was everywhere until we threw that couch away. Roach infested apartment. I felt bugs like crawling on me. There was a window in the room on the far side where my head was facing. It was a room we called the closet because it wasn't used as a bedroom, even though it was a bedroom, but we used it to throw all of our clothes in. So we called it the closet, even though it was just this big empty bedroom with a bunch of clothes in it and like one dresser and one mirror. But no one really went in there to hang out, so that's why I chose it. So I could just be there and look at the wall, the white wall, on a tan, gross carpet for like 3 days. And I made that carpet way more gross by being on it for 3 days. How about that? How about that? I feel like, how about that? I immediately pictured, like Dylan for some reason. When I talk about my, like, the shit that happened to me, like, 2 years ago, I pictured him, like, talking about that, and then him just going, how about that? Because he never really gets, like, that, like, look on his face that I hate, which is why I appreciate him a lot. He doesn't get that look on his face that people get when I start talking about this, where it's like, oh my god, like, you poor thing, this was so horrible. I don't like that. I just want someone to sit there and listen to me. And to give the answer, how about that, it's way more comforting than if you were like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. I would rather have, how about that, at the end of, like, let me spill all my junk on you, and then just say, how about that. It's not like a Dylan specific thing, it's just, him and, like, May are probably the only, like, couple of people who I can spill all that junk on, and they'll give me that answer. If I told like Helen all that stuff, he'd probably just cry. He has, which I don't like because I don't like seeing Helen cry because it's very sad. Okay, now it's done.